Welcome, anime enthusiasts. Buckle up for yet another spellbinding adventure as we unravel the mysteries of Am I Actually the Strongest? Prepare for a roller coaster of emotions and epic moments. So, get comfy, because we're about to embark on an anime journey like no other. In a world of superior magic, a hikikomori finds himself reincarnated, yet he remains intent on his hermit ways. He is reborn as Prince Reinhardt, son of King Jilk and Queen Gaislot, a former heroine. Discovering his magic level is wrongly measured at 2 due to a crystal limitation. His embarrassed parents abandon him in a forest. In reality, his power level is 1002, equivalent to a god's. In the wilderness, a massive creature approaches Haruto, attempting to harm him. However, it quickly becomes apparent that the creature cannot penetrate his defenses. After a futile attempt to attack Haruto, the creature gives up. It approaches him and mentions its intention to consume him to replenish its mana. Haruto reveals that he was abandoned due to his insufficient mana level. The creature speculates if he might be a reincarnation of the Demon King due to the immense mana it senses in him. To avoid any further complications, Haruto pretends to be the Demon King, leading the creature to pledge its loyalty to him. The creature, named Flay, becomes curious when she senses the presence of an approaching figure. A knight appears and inquires about his motives. Flay questions him, and he explains that he is there for the infant. He claims that the child belongs to a close relative but was abandoned, and he has come to rescue him. The knight offers to hire Flay as an attendant if she wishes to serve the child, and she accepts the proposal. 9 years later, Haruto reflects on his life. He initially intended to leave but chose to stay because of the warmth and kindness of his new family. However, he reveals that his younger sister, Charlotte, despises him. Flay plays with Charlotte, and Haruto watches them with a blank expression. Their mother informs him that Charlotte's shyness around him is due to her lack of understanding about how to interact with boys her age. She suggests that Haruto do something special for Charlotte, reminding him that he is the heir to the family estate and should engage more with his sister. Feeling trapped by his family's expectations and his low mana level, Haruto's father, Gold, calls him outside to teach him how to use a sword. Haruto surprises Gold by striking him with enhanced physical abilities through a barrier. Gold confides in his partner, expressing concerns that Haruto might be a demon. Charlotte overhears this conversation but doesn't believe the speculation about her brother. Returning from a failed raid on a bandit hideout, Gold arrives with 100 injured men, unbeknownst to him, secretly healed by Haruto. That night, Haruto and Flay depart to seek vengeance on the bandits. However, Charlotte accidentally witnesses them taking flight. Haruto discovers that the bandits are, in fact, soldiers from a neighboring empire, sent to sow chaos in the kingdom with the assistance of a treacherous high-ranking kingdom official. Haruto discreetly sends all the crucial information to Gold in an anonymous letter. Gold suspects Flay of eliminating the invaders due to the use of fire magic. Meanwhile, Charlotte, suspicious of Haruto's intimidating aura, which has always made her uncomfortable, begins shadowing him. Natalia and Charlotte set off on a trip to a festival but are ambushed by Empire soldiers. Haruto, alerted by his security barrier, sends them psychic directions to safety and arrives just in time to rescue them. Although Natalia faints, Charlotte is the one who witnesses Haruto's heroic act and decides to keep it a secret. Gold, on the other hand, becomes increasingly suspicious of the anonymous do-gooder and is perplexed by Charlotte's newfound kindness toward Haruto. Despite his curiosity, he resigns himself to never fully unraveling the truth. Charlotte becomes increasingly attached to Haruto and discovers his interest in ancient magic, which he believes may be related to his barrier magic. To assist him, she introduces him to books on ancient magic from the family library. However, when Haruto mentions anime, Charlotte becomes eager to watch it. In response, he creates a barrier that connects to Japan's internet. He takes on the role of her Japanese teacher, and she rapidly masters the language within 2 weeks. Soon, she's watching so much anime that Haruto has to limit her to 3 hours a day. During this time, Charlotte inadvertently spots Haruto's royal crest birthmark but mistakes it for a hero insignia. When Gold leaves to deal with common bandits, Charlotte insists that Haruto transform into his hero form to help Gold. Inspired by her request, Haruto devises a barrier disguise that makes him appear as a masked adult. He captures the bandits and presents himself to Gold as still pending, taking credit for all of Haruto's anonymous deeds. After years of effort, Haruto creates a barrier clone of himself capable of taking his place when needed. Their home is visited by Prince Laius and Princess Marion, whom Haruto realizes must be his younger siblings born after he was abandoned. Laius, an arrogant bully, challenges Haruto to a duel but is ultimately defeated and humiliated. In contrast, Marion is polite and intelligent, expressing disbelief that Haruto's magic level registers as only 2. Laius remains resentful after his defeat and receives advice from his servant to spend time with Charlotte during his kingdom tour. Haruto becomes suspicious of this sudden interest. That night, he confronts and defeats a group of mages who confess they were sent by Queen Gaislot to assassinate Charlotte. It's revealed that Charlotte possesses the potential to surpass the Queen's own magical power. Haruto's personal experience with Gaislot, his birth mother, makes him realize that she is willing to harm children if it serves her purposes. He vows to protect Charlotte at all costs, even if it means assassinating Gaislot. Gold informs Haruto that Gaislot was once an adventurer who killed the demon lord and married King Jilk. However, in her pursuit of power, she has overthrown Jilk and now rules alone. Her death could plunge the kingdom into civil war as nobles vie for the throne. Gold hopes that Charlotte, with her growing magical abilities, might one day have the strength to overthrow Gaislot and become a benevolent queen. He enlists Haruto's help in safeguarding Charlotte until she matures. Haruto agrees, though secretly he harbors a desire for personal revenge against Gaislot and begins plotting her assassination. Haruto successfully infiltrates Gaislot's castle in his still pending guise. Despite Gaislot's hero powers, she is effortlessly defeated by Haruto. He places a slave collar on her, allowing her to remain queen but warning that any attempt to remove the collar or harm Charlotte will result in her immediate demise. Haruto leaves her in a state of humiliation. 5 years pass without any further assassination attempts, and Charlotte is growing up happily. Gaislot has become a recluse, while Haruto contemplates returning to his hikikomori lifestyle. However, Gold reveals that Haruto must attend the Magic Academy in the capital for 3 years, sponsored by former King Jilk, with the unspoken expectation to befriend Marion and Laius. Reluctant to leave his solitude, Haruto decides to send his barrier clone, which lacks magical ability, to the academy. He hopes that this will lead to a justifiable expulsion without upsetting Jilk or Gold. Meanwhile, he retreats to his secluded mountain cabin, yearning for at least 3 years of complete isolation, except for occasional visits from Flay and Charlotte to watch anime. Haruto even creates a teleportation barrier to facilitate Charlotte's trips and maintains contact with his clone in the capital. Haruto suddenly recalls that he needs to find a new attendant to accompany him to the academy. He heads to Pandemonium, a concealed village nestled in the mountains, inhabited by the skeleton army of mages sent by Gaislot to assassinate Charlotte. Even after 5 years, these skeletons have developed personalities and view Haruto as their savior. Gigan, one of these skeletons, has transformed into a shy young female. Johnny, the chief of the skeleton village, reveals that, with Flay's assistance, they have expanded the village into a farming community, now housing other monsters with nowhere else to go. Unfortunately, Haruto doesn't find a suitable attendant among them. An incident involving a blizzard dragon displaced by Imperial mercenaries brings a new opportunity. Haruto and Flay venture to the Empire's borders and discover the injured dragon. After defeating the mercenaries and healing the dragon, they learn that she is a bookworm and fellow hikikomori who has lived in complete isolation for 300 years. She occasionally disguises herself as a young girl to acquire books from cities. As her home and books were destroyed by the mercenaries, Haruto invites her to live in Pandemonium. She accepts Haruto as her master and takes on the name Lisa. Lisa is warmly welcomed into Haruto's home, where she is greeted by his family and loved ones. Haruto's father, Gold, sees the potential in Lisa working as a maid, and she quickly adapts to her new role, becoming even more skilled than Flay. Natalia, Haruto and Charlotte's mother, makes the decision to hire Lisa as Charlotte's personal maid. Under Lisa's guidance, Charlotte learns magical skills and receives assistance with her schoolwork. Haruto sees Lisa's capabilities and believes she would make an excellent attendant for him. Haruto confides in Charlotte about his plans to continue his education in the capital, sparking her concern. Charlotte convenes a meeting with her knights to discuss the situation, warning them about the potentially dangerous clubs and councils in the educational institution, led by unscrupulous students. After the meeting, Lisa informs Haruto about the discussion, and he shares his covert mission to expose corrupt organizations with her. He invites Lisa to join him in staying in the capital, to which she readily agrees. Later, Haruto examines the magical abilities of Lisa, Flay, and Charlotte. He discovers that if Charlotte reaches her full potential, her magical capacity will surpass even that of the Queen. Additionally, Haruto learns that Charlotte has always possessed high levels of intelligence. Laius is eager for a rematch with Haruto, hoping to face him again. Meanwhile, Marion has developed a crush on Haruto, harboring feelings for him. In the shadows, the cultists of the Lucifera Church are actively spreading their agenda to overthrow the monarchy, posing a potential threat to the kingdom. Laius, however, has grown fearful of Gaislot, suspecting that she might be using the cult to eliminate Jilk permanently. Marion, on the other hand, hopes that Haruto can intervene and make a difference. While Laius prefers to seek out the legendary still pending, Marion believes in Haruto's abilities. Gaislot overhears their conversation, leading to an attack on Marion. She assigns Laius the task of becoming Haruto's friend to uncover the identity of still pending. Laius grapples with guilt, fearing that he might have unintentionally placed Haruto in danger. In the capital city, Haruto assumes the identity of still pending and saves travelers from a monster, drawing the attention of a red-eyed woman named Iris. This encounter leaves a strange feeling with Lisa. Haruto then registers as a student among his peers, though he struggles to fit in with them. Afterward, he teleports back to his mountain cabin to recover. However, Charlotte insists on returning to the city immediately to try out a restaurant. During this outing, they cross paths with Iris once more. She almost recognizes Haruto as still pending based on the sense of his magical power, leaving him feeling mocked as he still believes his magic level is only 2. Charlotte also finds Iris' presence peculiar, echoing Lisa's strange feeling. Haruto delivers the news to Haruto about the need to pass an exam before the entrance ceremony. Haruto, however, decides to deliberately fail the exam and get expelled from school. But his plan takes an unexpected turn when the ancient magic researcher, Dr. Lucianel, attempts to measure his magic, causing the crystal sensor to explode. To everyone's surprise, Dr. Lucianel deduces that Haruto possesses an immense amount of magic that the crystal couldn't handle. She approves his acceptance into the school and appoints herself as his advisor. However, Haruto refuses her guidance, convinced that she is mocking his supposed low magic level. Recognizing that Haruto lacks any magical abilities, Haruto equips him with a shield barrier and a magic pistol for protection. As Haruto enters the school, he encounters Iris and the student vice president, Schneider, who attempt to bully them both. Haruto's barrier proves effective in shielding him from harm, and his magic pistol injures Schneider, surprising everyone. Overwhelmed by the stressful situation, Haruto decides to take his place and immediately finds himself challenged to a duel by a fellow student named Hafen. That night, using his security barriers, Haruto watches as Iris apologizes to Schneider. In a surprising turn of events, Schneider agrees to call off the duel on the condition that she dances naked, and Iris complies. Exasperated by her actions, Haruto assumes his alter ego, still pending, and intervenes to save her. He scolds Iris for her naivety and places a barrier on Schneider's bullet wound as a form of punishment. Haruto warns Schneider that the barrier will tighten and cause pain if he attempts to use magic or remove it, and it will only be lifted when he atones for his dishonorable behavior. Schneider, filled with anger and a desire for revenge, swears vengeance against still pending.